when I left, I think more than 50% of all the candidates were dismissed or had resigned their job themselves. If a person earns, let's say, 10,000 euros a year and he spends 20,000 euros a year, then there is something to explain. But why is this wealth not taken from them? Because it's illegal, it's unlawful. The argument, I got money from my sister who is working in Italy, has been used a lot, and we always investigated whether the sister was able to upbring this amount of money. So if this idea of corruption stays in society, then you don't really win the war with just this vetting program. There should be more than that.
Bun regăsit la o nouă ediție Podcast ZdCe, sunt Natalia Zaharescu și invitatul meu de astăzi este domnul Willem Brouwer, cel mai nou membru al Comisiei de Evaluare a Integrității Etice și Financiare a Judecătorilor, cunoscută și după numele Comisia Vetting. Bine ați venit la ziarul de gardă. Welcome and thank you for agreeing to have this discussion.
It's my pleasure.
Voi adresa întrebările în limba română, iar domnul Brouwer va răspunde în limba engleză. Vom asigura și traducere. Sunteți unul dintre cei 6 membri ai Comisiei Vetting și unul dintre cei 3 membri internaționali. Sunteți din Olanda, sunteți jurist și judecător part-time într-un oraș din Olanda. Ați ajuns în această calitate de membru al Comisiei Vetting aici în iulie 2024, după ce unul dintre membrii internaționale ai Comisiei și-a dat demisia. Vă rugăm să ne spuneți pentru început de ce ați acceptat această invitație, de ce să veniți în Moldova să participați la acest proces.
Well, as always, you start with the most difficult question to answer. First of all, let me point this out. I had some experience as an international observer on the vetting procedure in Albania. I was there for a year. I had some other international experiences in Kosovo, in the Baltic states, and even in Ukraine. I was never in Moldova, but I heard very good things. Let me put it this way, from a personal point of view, I heard very, very nice things about Moldova from a Norwegian colleague of mine who has been here several years ago. So my curiosity was, let's say, awoken. And then I got the question, the request to send in my CV and to update it, and here I am. That's more or less. It's a challenge. It's a very special position. It's a very special procedure, the vetting procedure. It was shortly it was unknown in sovereign countries that they would invite foreigners in order to assist with a procedure like this, and even this procedure as such is new and challenging, and I think that's more or less my motivation to do so. And then I met a lot of very nice people over here, and what I used to say is the food is excellent, the restaurants are excellent, and the city is nice.
Spuneți-ne despre experiența dumneavoastră din Albania. Ați participat ca membru al unei structuri care, de fapt, supraveghează activitatea celor comisii care fac evaluare acolo, evaluarea judecătorilor și procurorilor. E un proces care a început de mai mult timp în Albania, dar nu s-a finalizat deocamdată.
Well, to start with the finish, the first instance procedure has almost finished now in Albania, and only the appeal cases will go on, planned to the end of 2026. That's the story. it's not quite supervising, I think, but there were 8, when I was there, 8 international observers who, well, monitored and advised the Commission. You should see that the organization in Moldavia is slightly different from the organization in Moldova. In Albania, they had a change of the constitution, so they took away some rights from the constitution temporarily, and they installed other authorities, and so they installed the Evaluation Commission, the Independent Qualification Commission, which got the power to dismiss persons from office. It was a completely national commission, and they introduced the international observers in order to, well, let's say, do some monitoring, helping when necessary, guiding when necessary, criticizing when necessary, and that's what more or less what we did. The situation in Moldova is slightly different. Here, 3 internationals are members of the actual qualification commission, or the evaluation commission, as you call it. And it's not the evaluation commission that really takes the decision, but it advises the decision in a final report after a hearing. So that's more or less the difference. I can't say anything about the Moldovan experience because I haven't got it yet. I mean, I'm just starting. In Albania, it worked quite well. The Albanians were, I think, very pleased with the guidance, well, not supervision, but the monitoring that we did. They had a very difficult job because they had to decide over their own countrymen, which is always very difficult. We were slightly more objective, I think. We could, well, not objective, had more distance. So my experience was that it went well, and it had some results. Actually, quite devastating results, because when I left, I think more than 50% of all the candidates were dismissed or had resigned their job themselves. So I think it went fairly well. Yes.
Care ar fi lecțiile pe care le putem învăța din această experiență a Albaniei? Și dacă ar fi să adaug, ce greșeli ar trebui să evităm să nu se facă aici în Republica Moldova?
Well, the last question is the most easy. You should avoid every mistake, but that's not the thing that you want to hear. If you are to dismiss part of a complete institution like the judicial institutions, then there is a lack of judges, there is a lack of prosecutors. So you should take care of follow-up. And so this whole evaluation program, this whole vetting program, is the middle of the organization. There should be a follow-up, there should be a vetting before people are going to have the job. I mean, they should be vetted before. But you should start with training in like ethics and integrity in schools and in universities. I mean, the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. So if this idea of corruption stays in society, then you don't really win the war with just this vetting program. There should be more than that. A follow-up. What I heard in Albania, and you may call it the Vox Populi, I'm not really fond of the Vox Populi because it's always very subjective, but over there we saw people who had accepted a lot of money, a lot of bribes in order for favor, in exchange for favors. And what I heard was, why they are dismissed, they lose their job, okay. But why is this wealth not taken from them? Because it's illegal, it's unlawful obtained, so they should get rid of it. They should they should pay for their sins. That's one of the lessons, I think. But even more important is the follow-up. You should have good education. You should learn at a young age that some things just are not done. I remember it was not a similar situation, but in Estonia, when Estonia got loose from the Soviet Union, the judiciary was, of course, had always been a part of the party system. And what they did over there was they sent the older judges into pension and replaced them for younger people in order to get rid of this old heritage. So that would be my advice for now, but again, I'm just here, I haven't seen anything yet.
Dar, iată, în Albania, unele sondaje de opinie printre populație au arătat că unii oameni consideră că această reformă nu și-a atins de fapt obiectivele, că există în continuare corupție în domeniul justiției sau că nivelul corupției a rămas la fel. Riscăm și noi o asemenea situație?
Well, you could say that corruption is part of human minds, but I think the most important thing to do is to spread out the good news on these kinds of vetting operations and not the things that are not managed. There is a political will still to do so, and this political will comes forth from the knowledge that there is corruption, that there are people who are taking bribes and who are, doing all kinds of things that they shouldn't do. And the process has started, it has results already, people are dismissed, but there are also candidates that pass the tests, that appear to be, let's say, legit, honest. So it has also a positive effect. And then what the public should know, I think, is that the Commission doesn't take decisions on the opinion of, let's say, politicians or the public or international community, but on the facts, using the tools of the laws, the free laws given to the Commission. So whatever is said in public is said in public and will stay in public, but whatever the Commission does is study, investigate the facts concerning the candidates and then testing them on the law.
În acest context, considerați că există o influență politică asupra acestei comisii în prezent? Există mecanisme pentru a influența din punct de vedere politic deciziile acestei comisii?
I sure hope not. As far as I'm concerned, there isn't. As far as I know, the members of the commission yet, and I only know them for a week now, so please don't hold me on these words. I don't think there is. Of course, there is always a political component. There is a commission component, and there is also a finance component. I mean, we have the European Union, the United States of America, and the Netherlands who are paying for this operation. I mean, there's always that. But the Commission is and should be completely independent and should act according to the law given to them. So I have a fair hope that there won't be any at least no direct political influence on the decisions of the Commission.
Trebuie să menționăm aici faptul că această comisie, Comisia Vetting, evaluează integritatea judecătorilor din cadrul Curții Supreme de Justiție, din cadrul curților de apel și a candidaților care doresc să fie membri în Consiliul Superior al Magistraturii și în mai multe colegii. Este o funcție pe care a preluat-o de la Comisia Pre-Vetting, dar avem o istorie a acestui vetting, pre-vetting, care a fost marcată cumva de unele scandaluri. Au fost mai multe articole în presă care au scris despre sau au pus la îndoială integritatea sau reputația unor membri ai acestor comisii, pentru că a fost Comisia Pre-Vetting, avem Comisia Vetting pentru judecători și avem Comisia Vetting pentru procurori. Nu știu dacă sunteți la curent cu aceste scandaluri, dar ar putea acestea să afecteze în general imaginea acestui proces?
Well, to start with, I'm not aware of these scandals. I only heard about a Dutch colleague who was accused of having a side job, or a job on the side, which wouldn't have been according to the law. As far as I know, they have changed the law and it's no problem anymore. And for the rest, I really am not aware of any scandals concerning my colleagues, their backgrounds or whatever.
Iată, au fost acuzații că unii candidați au fost evaluați mai blând, iar alții mai dur, că nu s-au aplicat aceleași criterii pentru toată lumea. Cum considerați dacă acest lucru ar putea iarăși afecta procesul și imaginea acestui proces de evaluare?
I can hardly speculate on that, of course. I'm sorry, what should I say? Again, candidates, subjects should be treated according to the law. And if there are complaints are mostly very personal. So it's the experience of the people concerned, the people that are concerned. It's their experience that they are treated harsher than anyone else. But again, I haven't seen that yet.
La ce veți atrage dumneavoastră personal atenția atunci când veți evalua un candidat? Trebuie să menționăm aici, sunteți specializat în dreptul fiscal și în frauda fiscală. Va fi asta o prioritate la care veți atrage atenția sau, în general, care sunt criteriile pe care le veți lua în considerare?
Well, first of all, I haven't got a history in fiscal fraud. I have a history in fighting fiscal fraud. Let me put it that way.
Sure.
That has been some time ago, but the figures, the income and spendings of people are, of course, very important in this situation. I can't say on what I would focus, but where I focused on in Albania was, can a candidate afford the spendings that he did? If a person earns, let's say, 10,000 euros a year and he spends 20,000 euros a year, then there is something to explain, to start with. So, and this is merely, this has nothing to do with the persons as such, but it is obvious that something has to be explained. And if it's explainable, and if that explanation is based on evidence, because that's also very important, then there's nothing wrong. And if it cannot be explained, something is obviously wrong. So that would be my focus, I think, but there are more things. The position of the person, the time that he has been in office, how long, well, you name it, we have it. As a judge, we are trained to weigh all the things that might be important and skip the things that are not important and focus on the most important things, and then take our decisions.
În Republica Moldova există o situație prin care mai mulți judecători și procurori, de exemplu, își argumentau averile prin faptul că rudele sau părinții au lucrat peste hotare și au lucrat fără a avea un contract oficial. Ei spun că, de exemplu, au primit bani pentru a-și cumpăra o casă de la părinți sau de la rude, care, iată, și în acest mod nu pot neapărat justifica orice cheltuială din noastră. Ați accepta o asemenea explicație?
When it's true, there's nothing wrong with it, but it has to be proven that it's true. And then again, I haven't got any experience over here yet, but we had, of course, the same in Albania, as you know. There are some similarities between Moldova and Albania. In Albania itself live approximately 2 million people, and approximately 1 million or even more Albanians live abroad, the diaspora.
Yes.
And you call it diaspora as well,
yes.
Do you? Yes. Well, the argument, I got money from my sister who is working in Italy, has been used a lot, and we always investigated whether the sister was able to upbring this amount of money. And then there was a very simple provision in the law over there saying that if a certain amount of money was not taxed wherever, either in the country of earning, like Italia, or in Albania, or not reported at the border when coming into Albania, it was considered to be unlawful money, so it couldn't count. It was very if you call it that, you might call that a very harsh reasoning, but I think in all the cases I did, I only saw one case that it was really credible, that it was between brothers, that the brother was able to put up the money the other brother had in Albania. But I never saw any evidence on that argument. But you never know.
Yeah.
I keep an open mind.
Înainte de a începe evaluarea, de exemplu, a judecătorilor de la Curtea de Apel sau de la Curtea Supremă de Justiție, mai mulți judecători și-au anunțat demisiile, astfel încât nu vor trece această evaluare și vor merge la pensie. Cum vedeți dumneavoastră această situație? S-au temut să treacă prin această evaluare?
I wouldn't know. I really don't know what kind of sentiments they had before resigning. I think when a judge resigns, he has to have a very important reason, but what the reason is, I don't know. And on the other hand, everybody has a right to resign from his office, from his job when he wants to. So I won't go that far that I draw conclusions from that kind of behavior. It would not be right to do so.
Ce ar trebui să se întâmple ca sistemul de justiție să rămână corect, să aibă încredere populația mai multă în sistemul de justiție după încheierea acestui proces?
It will take a long time. If you know what they say, trust comes very slowly and leaves very quickly. And if trust in the judiciary is regained, and I really hope it will be, it should be in a democratic state, then it depends on the behavior of those working in the complete justice business, so prosecutors, judges of every level, but also solicitors who are in the private sector are also lawyers. It depends on the way that they are doing what they have to do. They have to show that they are honest, that they are impartial, that they are objective, and that's the only way, I think, to regain the trust necessary. And what I said in the beginning, you have to, I think it would be very sensible to make this part of the studies, the ethics and the integrity.
Da, pe lângă acest proces de evaluare a integrității judecătorilor și procurorilor, ce ar mai trebui de făcut pentru ca sistemul de justiție în Republica Moldova să fie unul corect și, din nou, să recâștige încrederea populației?
Well, do your best, I would say. But, well, what I just said, the people that remain in the system are supposed to be legit, are supposed to be honest, and should keep on doing their job in an honest way, in the right way. They should, I think, if they take decisions, motivate their decisions in a comprehensible way so that the audience, the people concerned, understand why the decision is taken. Mind you, in a court case, there's always one loser, and he will always feel bad. But he will feel less bad when the decision taken is comprehensible and is according to the law and is, well, and it can be appealed. I mean, there is also a court of appeal, and this court of appeal also has to be honest and also has to act within the law, and then the acceptance will be better. Mind you, if you have a corrupted system, it goes both ways. Obviously, there are people in Moldova, and that's what I've heard last week, that object this vetting program. You could ask yourself, why do they object to this vetting program? Because if a judge can be bought, it can be bought by both parties. So it works two ways, and it works two ways the wrong way. So I would think honesty, well-educated lawyers, but you have well-educated lawyers, I know that. The people from law school in Moldova have a good name. Honest people. There is also a salary question, of course. It has to be not very attractive to take a bribe. You have to have something to lose. And what you have to lose, what you can lose, is your job, your position, your name, your reputation. You can lose a lot. And if you stay in the narrow middle road, you won't lose it, and you gain trust with the people.